Coming up on After the Whistle, high-flying Bald Eagle welcomes undefeated Jersey Shore to town. Then undefeated Bellwood Antis hosts Juniata Valley in a game with massive playoff implications.
And finally, all the way down in Hollidaysburg, a golden homecoming battle between the Golden Tigers and the Tyrone Golden Eagles.
We've got highlights for you from all these District 6 matchups and more that you do not want to miss. Hello and welcome back to After the Whistle, brought to you by Com Radio, the Center County Report, and Penn State's chapter of Awesome. I'm Alex Rocco.
And I'm Brooke Stake. With playoffs just around the corner, we have action from all around District 6 tonight. So, Alex, I don't know about you, but some of these teams are looking hotter than your New York Giants. What do you have to say about that?
Well, Brooke, obviously the Giants haven't had the best of starts to the year, but with playoffs coming around in District 6, let's just jump into that action because the Giants are definitely not going to get to the playoffs.
Exactly. Let's get right into it. Our game of the week takes us to Wingate as 7-1 Bald Eagle played host to undefeated Jersey Shore. It was senior night for Bald Eagle as the Eagles hosted the undefeated Jersey Shore Bulldogs. After both squads' previous drives stalled due to penalties, quarterback Brady Jordan rolls right and turns it around for an 8-yard rushing touchdown. This made it 10-0 Jersey Shore late on in the second quarter. Jersey Shore is pinned inside its own 1-yard line as a gang of Bald Eagle tacklers get Hayden Packer in the end zone. Jersey Shore jumped ahead to the third quarter as Bulldogs back on the offense. Jordan calls his own number again by a 60-yard rushing touchdown to make it 20-2 Jersey Shore midway through the third quarter. One more time, the Jersey Shore defeated Bald Eagle 48-5.
It was dark and gloomy tonight here at Bald Eagle Area High School as the Eagles fell to non-conference opponent Jersey Shore Bulldogs, 48-5.
Defensively, we got banged up a little bit, no excuses, but we got banged up a little bit and kids got out of position. And when that happens, that's really tough. It's really tough.
It was a close game in the first half, but Jersey Shore's defense exploded in the second half. The game was put to bed when cornerback Laramie Bobek took an interception to the house, putting the Bulldogs up 34-2. It was a tough loss for Garrett Burns and the Eagles on senior night, but he's looking to improve on the team's weaknesses and bounce back come playoff time.
I mean, we're not going to play another team as good as Jersey Shore, obviously. So, I mean, just watch the film, break down what we need to figure out, what we messed up on, and get better for districts.
The Eagles will wrap up the regular season here at home next week against Bradford. That kickoff time is set for 7 p.m. Reporting for After the Whistle, I'm Carlos Garcia.
Thanks, Carlos. Bald Eagle will host Bradford next week in its final regular season game before the playoffs. At 7-2, the Eagles are in prime position for postseason play. Preston Shoemaker has more.
Despite tonight's loss to Jersey Shore, the Eagles have been soaring this season in Wingate. With a 5-1 conference record, Bald Eagle sits in second place in the Mountain Conference, with their lone loss coming to Clearfield early in the season. With 1 week to go before the playoffs, Bald Eagle head coach Jesse Nagle says his team is focused 1 week at a time.
We try to focus on only that game. We don't trade tape. We don't do anything else like that. In the future, we make sure we take care of this game first.
Senior team captain and defensive end KALEB Mattis has been part of a Bald Eagle defense that has allowed only 9 points in its last 5 conference games, including 4 shutouts. As captain, Mattis has stepped up to be a leader both on and off the field.
Yeah, of course, that kind of person's always needed in the locker room. You always need somebody to tell the guys, time is now. You got to step up and do your job.
The Eagles will finish up the regular season next week before beginning a playoff run with high expectations of going deep into the state tournament. In Wingate, I'm Preston Shoemaker for In the Game.
Next, we head to South Bellwood, where the undefeated Blue Devils hosted 6-1 Juniata Valley in a conference matchup with major playoff implications. It was senior night in Bellwood as the Blue Devils honored their seniors in a matchup that is definitely going to be highly talked about. On the opening drive for Juniata Valley, they go 63 yards down the sideline, which would set up a 2-yard rushing touchdown. As the Hornets take an early 7-0 lead, they would tack on another touchdown, and later in the game, Juniata Valley records a fumble, which would lead to a 42-yard touchdown. Later in this contest, Bellwood Antis would not be shut out as they take it 57 yards down the sideline. but Juniata Valley would tack on one more touchdown and make it a 26-7 game, and that would be your final score.
It was a golden homecoming night in Hollidaysburg as the Golden Tigers welcomed the Tyrone Golden Eagles to town for a non-conference matchup. We have a huge crowd in Hollidaysburg tonight as it was their homecoming night. There they are taking on the field. We have Joelle Delatre winning homecoming queen. But first, we started off the quarter with Tyrone making it 6-0 right away. But not shortly after, Hollidaysburg, Xander Bainey scored a 1-yard rushing touchdown. The Golden Tigers offense gained momentum still, heading into the second quarter to make it 14-6 Hollidaysburg. But still in the second quarter, Hollidaysburg was on fire as McGinnis had a huge rushing touchdown. Hollidaysburg would move on to defeat the Golden Eagles 44-21 during their homecoming game to improve to 4-4 on the season.
Next up, PHILIPSBURG-OSCEOLA hosted Penns Valley tonight in a Mountain League matchup. The Mountaineers are looking to avoid their 4th straight loss in the contest. It was senior night in Phillipsburg as they honored their seniors before the game started, but on the opening drive for Penns Valley, they go 57 yards down the middle of the field. That was quarterback Jackson Romig connecting to Miles Brooks, giving Penns Valley the early 7-0 lead. And that duo would find the end zone once more as Penns Valley would take a 13-0 lead after the missed field goal. Ty Watson breaks loose here, and he will go all the way down the sideline and to the end zone for a 61-yard touchdown, giving Penns Valley a 19-0 lead. Still in the second quarter, Romig would once again find the end zone as he passed to John Mayer, giving Penns Valley a 26-0 lead, and Penns Valley would hold on to capture a 40-14 victory as Penns Valley wins its first set of back-to-back games on the season.
All right, let's take a look at some other scores all around District 6 in our scoreboard roundup. First, we have Altoona traveling to Carlisle but falling 20-56. We have Bellefonte, who fell to Clearfield 47-14. Bedford took a huge win against Greater Johnstown 61-0. Purchase Line falling 14-48 over Cambria Heights. Bishop McCourt taking a huge loss to Bishop Guilfoyle 42-0. And Chestnut Ridge falling 40-0 to Richland. Coming up tomorrow, we have State College at Harrisburg at 1 p.m. and Central taking on Westmont Hilltop at 1 p.m.
Coming off a bye week, Penn State football is back in Beaver Stadium tomorrow to take on the 2-5 Illinois. But there are bigger things on the minds of Nittany Lions fans more than a homecoming win. Kelly Warner has...
It's homecoming weekend for the Nittany Lions in more ways than one. The team returned to the practice field after a bye week and memories of a tough loss at Iowa. As multiple players recover from injuries, the biggest question mark is the status of starting quarterback Sean Clifford. He was back on the field Wednesday working through throwing drills alongside Taquan Roberson and Christian Veyu.
But who will be taking the snaps for the Nittany Lions on Saturday is still up in the air. But the Illini might be without their starting QB as well.
In similar fashion to Clifford, Illinois quarterback Brandon Peters suffered an injury in the game against Wisconsin before the Fighting Illini also had a bye last weekend. Peters was cleared to return to the field on Thursday, but Coach Bielema did not yet name a starter. Coach Franklin is focused on having the 3 quarterbacks share reps so they are prepared for anything, but he is hoping for a certain outcome.
I think we would all agree that we'd like Sean back, so we'll adjust. We'll adjust and do what we have to do. We obviously want to be able to invest our time where we think we're going to get the greatest return.
On the other side of the ball, Penn State will have a hole to fill after the loss of P.J. Mustipher. Other defensive leaders like Jesse Lucchetta and Derek Tangelo will have to work to fill that gap.
Kickoff is noon tomorrow, and you can listen to the game live on Penn State's own COM Radio. That's all for our show today. I'm Alex Rocco.
And I'm Brooke Stake. We'll be back on the air next Friday with more District 6 high school football coverage right here after the whistle.